Guillaume Seignac, born on December 25, 1870, in Rennes, France, was a French academic painter known for his refined depictions of classical and allegorical themes. His work was deeply rooted in the neoclassical tradition, emphasizing idealized beauty and harmonious compositions, yet it also displayed hints of Romanticism's emotional depth and sensuality. Seignac's life offers a compelling look at the artistic ideals and cultural shifts of late 19th and early 20th century Europe. Seignac grew up during the late stages of France's Second Empire, an era marked by the flourishing of arts and culture under Napoleon III. His formative years coincided with the rise of academic art, a style upheld by institutions like the École des Beaux-Arts in Paris. These institutions emphasized rigorous training in drawing, anatomy, and historical painting, laying the foundation for many young artists' careers. While little is documented about Seignac's early influences, his enrollment in Paris's Académie Julian suggests he possessed a keen artistic inclination from a young age. The Académie Julian was one of the most prestigious private art schools in France at the time, offering a liberal alternative to the École des Beaux-Arts. Here, Seignac studied under luminaries such as Gabriel Ferrier, William-Adolphe Bouguereau, and Tony Robert Fleury, who were all stalwarts of the academic tradition. Bouguereau, in particular, had a profound impact on Seignac's approach, evident in the younger artist's meticulous attention to detail and focus on the human form. Seignac's art was defined by a commitment to idealized beauty. He sought to create works that celebrated the perfection of the human body, often drawing inspiration from Greek and Roman mythology. His compositions were characterized by a delicate balance of light, texture, and anatomy, aiming to evoke a timeless quality. He shared the neoclassical movement's reverence for antiquity, yet his interpretations were uniquely personal, blending academic rigor with a subtle emotional resonance. In the context of his time, Seignac's focus on classical themes was somewhat conservative. The late 19th century witnessed the rise of avant-garde movements such as Impressionism and Symbolism, which challenged traditional norms. Yet Seignac remained steadfast in his dedication to academic principles. This decision may have been influenced by the robust market for academic art among collectors and institutions, particularly in France and the United States, where his works found a receptive audience. By the late 1890s, Seignac had begun to establish himself as a professional artist. His works were regularly exhibited at the Paris Salon, the premier venue for artists seeking recognition in the academic tradition. The Salon provided a platform for artists to display their work to a broad audience, including potential patrons and critics. Seignac's submissions often received favorable attention, earning him accolades for their technical mastery and aesthetic refinement. While Seignac's subjects often revolved around mythological and allegorical themes, his art also reflected contemporary tastes for sensual and romanticized imagery. He depicted figures, predominantly women, in poses that combined grace and allure, framed against idyllic backdrops or ornate settings. These works struck a chord with viewers who admired their elegance and emotional subtlety. Seignac's artistic vision matured in an era of profound change. The turn of the 20th century brought with it shifts in artistic preferences, as modernist movements began to dominate the cultural landscape. However, Seignac and his contemporaries in the academic tradition continued to champion their ideals, appealing to a clientele that valued continuity over experimentation. By 1900, Seignac's reputation had extended beyond France. His works were collected by art enthusiasts in Europe and North America, securing his position as an artist of international acclaim. Despite the challenges posed by the evolving art world, Seignac remained loyal to his neoclassical roots, producing works that embodied timeless beauty. As Guillaume Seignac's career progressed into the early 20th century, his work solidified his reputation as a master of the neoclassical genre. Despite the growing prominence of modernist movements like Cubism and Fauvism, Seignac's paintings continued to resonate with patrons who cherished the elegance and precision of the academic style. His skill in blending classical ideals with a romantic sensibility set him apart from his contemporaries and ensured his continued success. Seignac's later works, much like those of his earlier years, frequently depicted idealized female figures in mythological or allegorical settings. His subjects were often enveloped in soft, luminous light, enhancing their ethereal quality. Seignac excelled at creating compositions that balanced technical rigor with emotional subtlety. While his contemporaries explored abstraction and symbolism, Seignac focused on the timeless appeal of the human form, rendering it with unparalleled grace. His dedication to the academic tradition earned him invitations to exhibit at prestigious venues, including the annual Paris Salon. These exhibitions not only reinforced his standing in the art world, but also brought his work to a wider audience, including collectors from the United States. By the early 1900s, American patrons played a significant role in supporting academic artists like Seignac, acquiring works that embodied ideals of beauty and refinement. Although Guillaume Seignac's professional achievements are well documented, details about his personal life remain scarce. It is known that he spent much of his life in Paris, immersed in the vibrant artistic community of the time. Paris, in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, was a hub of cultural activity, attracting artists, writers, and intellectuals from around the world. Seignac's association with the Académie Julian connected him to a network of like-minded artists and mentors who shared his dedication to the academic style. His friendships with fellow painters and his participation in the Paris Salon fostered an environment of mutual inspiration and support. Despite the shifts in the broader art world, this community upheld the values of discipline, tradition, and artistic excellence that defined Seignac's work. Guillaume Seignac passed away on October 2nd, 1924, at the age of 53. His death marked the end of a career devoted to preserving the ideals of classical beauty in an era increasingly dominated by modernist experimentation. While Seignac's art may not have been groundbreaking in the context of his time, it served as a vital link to the traditions of the past, offering viewers a sense of continuity and timelessness. Following his death, the art world continued to evolve, with modernist and abstract movements redefining the boundaries of artistic expression. Yet, even as these new styles gained prominence, Seignac's work retained its appeal among collectors and enthusiasts of academic art. His paintings, with their meticulous craftsmanship and evocative imagery, remain valued examples of the neoclassical tradition. In the decades since his passing, Seignac's art has been celebrated for its technical brilliance and aesthetic refinement. His works are held in private collections and museums, where they continue to captivate audiences with their timeless beauty. Scholars and art historians have also revisited his oeuvre, recognizing its significance as a reflection of the artistic and cultural values of his era.